Okay, so in the last video, I showed you how to do simple geometric forms of 1-point perspective. Now we're going to take it one step further. We're not going to spend a ton of time on 1-point perspective because it is a simple perspective. Okay, so we always start with our horizon line. Okay, on that horizon line, I'm going to pick a spot for my vanishing point. Next, I'm going to start with my road. So this just however wide you want your road to be. Okay, so there's my road. Then I'm going to add a sidewalk to one side of my road. And say this sidewalk also has a thickness, so it's got like a side to it. I'm gonna add that tiny little bit of side as if this was a geometric form that we just did. Then I'm going to add the lines that go across on a sidewalk. So if these go side to side, they do not go to a vanishing point, they just are parallel. But remember, as things get further back into space, they get closer and closer together. Okay, I'm getting crooked. Okay, and then we have to do the line that's straight up and down on the side to show that divide of when the cement was poured, it was in sections. This also helps with three-dimensional. If it's tiny little details, do not worry about perfect, especially if they're very short lines. I'm sure you can freehand the short up and down lines. Okay, so there is our sidewalk. Now let's add our buildings. So straight up and down line. Then the top goes to the vanishing point. That we see, so we don't see any more horizon line on this side because the building is overlapping it. Okay, now say we want to add a series of doors and windows. So I'd add a top of a door here. And while my ruler is here, I'm going to just make all my lines so that they're nice and even at the top. Then I'm going to take a straight line down. Next is that doors have often a little step into it. So we have to make our little cutout, little window. So from each bottom right corner, a little line is made, showing that there is a frame of where this door happens. Let me do a straight line up. Skinny. And then from the vanishing point to the corners of all of those is our little step window in. And then you can add a little door handle if you want. These are doors. Okay, say this is a garage door. I know about you, but my garage door has little panels so that when it buckles and folds upward, it's a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna make some lines on that one for siding of my garage door. And then maybe there's a little handle just in case the electricity goes out. All right, so there's doors, sidewalk, and a road. Now, if we're gonna add windows, say I want a series of windows up here. It's a lot like the doors. Okay, and I'm just gonna make my rectangular shapes for all my windows. Remember, as they get further back into space, they get smaller. Need this one. Okay, same thing as before. Go to the vanishing point, which we do not see. Says I checked with the vanishing point and I do not see any kind of corner. Nothing would make sense to draw a little line because we're kind of looking up and above. So I would possibly see underneath a window, but I would not see the bottom windowsill of any of these windows because we're looking up. It's at a bird's or a worm's eye view. Okay. And there's our windows. So say we want to add some trees or bushes and they're in a row. Typically when you're in a city, trees and bushes are all along a road or a sidewalk evenly. So when you do that, and I mean, when we do perspective, it's a lot of man-made things, but when it comes to nature, you can still use perspective. So if I'm drawing my trees and they come up way high, so this is the top of the tree. If there's a tree right here, okay, then there would possibly be another tree here, and tree there. And then you just kind of follow the height. These are more like pear trees. All the way back. And then you wouldn't see the horizon line anymore. Okay, so that is if trees are in a row and they've been planted evenly across. They kind of go into my road a little bit. So if they are planted on purpose to be in a row, then perspective is when it comes in hand. Otherwise, you don't really use it. Just know that when things get further away, they get smaller towards the vanishing point, or just smaller in general. So if I put a tree back here, way behind this tree, it'd be a lot smaller than this one. Other details I could add are the little lines in the middle of the road. Not perfectly even, but you get the idea. Okay, if this had